Hey, I'm Greg. I'm a product manager. I give Greenhouse 5 out of 5 stars. And for more reviews like this, go ahead and click below. Yeah, so before Greenhouse, I'd used a variety of softwares. Success Factors was one, and they all offer good packages that can provide interesting solutions. But Greenhouse felt like the cleanest to me as a user. It was easy to understand. It didn't have extra features I didn't need, and it really makes my life when I'm doing interviews very simple. Yeah, so I'm actually the user for Greenhouse, so I didn't necessarily choose it. But that said, if I were to go back and make this purchase decision, the big things that I'd integrate are they have fantastic integrations with my calendar, right? So it's really easy for me to see what I have coming up, who I need to work with to make an interview happen, and then their sort of follow up on those interviews is just fantastic. It's easy to understand how my coworkers feel about someone we've sort of interviewed and chatted with, and it's super simple to add my own feedback in addition to that. It's sort of they give you almost like a checklist of things. It's like, hey, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to make sure we touch on in the interview, and then it's really easy to see how people react to those findings that you've had. Greenhouse to me was about as easy as it can be in terms of I don't know, business to business software. I think a lot of software that's out there can be complicated and sort of bloated in some ways, and Greenhouse feels like they've sort of trimmed down what they need. In fact, Greenhouse's logo is, I believe it's a plant. It's like they've pruned that plant to be exactly what I need. It's very simple to get started. I didn't look at any tutorials online. I just walked in and started using it. Yeah, so I've only used Greenhouse from the recruiting sense. They may have software that supports other activities in the HR department. I'm not really sure. That said, if you need something that needs more features than just recruiting, it might be worth looking at some of those other packages that have more features in one service. It might be cheaper, and sometimes they integrate together quite nicely. I will say though, I am personally a fan of buying software that fixes one thing really well as opposed to fixing a lot of things like pretty poorly. And so that's my own preference, but I think Greenhouse really does recruiting in a way that I'd prefer that they make most of my software I use at work.